We've all seen the incidents, the scenes at Kabul airport and how it's emerging. Refugees are trying to flee Afghanistan for their life, for their safety, and many of the countries are turning them away. And just now we witnessed three people falling down from a C-17 American aircraft. What are your initial comments? Where do these people actually go from now?
Well, look, it could be like the first Taliban takeover where they took Najibullah out of a diplomatic compound, tortured him, cut off his genitals while he was still alive, and then hanged him from a lamppost. Or it could be like the fall of Saigon, where reprisals were not taken out on the local people. There is bound to be panic. Remember, even these scenes coming out of Kabul, they have happened after the Taliban has fully taken control. So it's not the Taliban shooting at people and things like that happening right now. It's more a case of panic where they've been given time to leave and things like that. These were probably people who had interpreted or collaborated with the Americans in some way who would be on death lists. It says a lot more about America's perfidy than anything else, rather than anything about the Taliban at the moment. But these things are inevitable in any war scene where the final act is being played out, right? It happened in Baghdad. It happened in Saigon. It happened in Berlin, all these places. Now, what happens from here is the big question, right? What can we expect? Well, I have to say I'm quite surprised pleasantly that the Taliban haven't really been as nasty as they were the last time round. It was kind of expected. The problem here was that nobody expected the speed of the collapse. Right. A lot of us believed the collapse was imminent, but not with this rapidity. I've been talking to my contacts in Islamabad. I've been talking to the people in Afghanistan for a very long time. They don't, none of them predicted this. Even the Pakistanis did not predict this, because if you look at any of the satellite imagery that we've been looking at, there was no immediate increase in assistance that Pakistan provided with these people for the victories to be so rapid. The second thing that is very curious is that you actually look at the material losses of the Afghan army on the ground, in terms of tanks destroyed, armored personnel carriers destroyed, howitzers or cannons destroyed. It's almost non-existent. Right. It's basically that the Afghan army didn't fight. It almost seems to have been coordinated laying down of arms by the Afghans, by the Afghan army across the border. So I'm not even sure it's a morale collapse, because when a morale collapse happens, it happens on one front. It doesn't happen across the entire front that is spread over, 5-6 different cities, all separated by hundreds of kilometers of roads and things like that. So it was a coordinated, collapse, quote unquote. Well, I mean, if you want to call it collapse, because it's more like a negotiated deal where the government said we'll pretend to fight, but we won't actually fight. And then they all took planes and ran away. It turns out Ghani went off to Tajikistan, where his flight was denied landing. Then he shifted to Oman. And now we hear that the rat is going back to America, where he came from.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. धन्यवाद, नमस्कार.